Excuse me. Afternoon, everyone. Over here, it's a little bit of rain outside. Good afternoon, everyone. Yeah. So I can't really complain. Obviously, we need the water. I presume we do. Anyway, it's not like the UK with drizzle and cold and windy and drizzle for days on end. And then no wonder everyone's so bloody miserable. Good afternoon, all, and Roger. I thought finally I was going to say there, good afternoon, ladies, gentlemen, and Roger for a minute then. Yeah, it's storms, yeah. Afternoon, big storms, yeah. A couple of hailstorms occasionally, and then we'd have to postpone this because the racket is unbelievable. I had a conversation with somebody the other day with the hailstorms coming down. I said, I'm very sorry, can't hear a word from you, and I'm shouting at the top of my voice here. So I had to sort it out later on. It wasn't, was it you? Sure, I thought it was a guy, if I remember right. Anyway, okay, but Elliot was impossible. It's come to that. It's $5 now. Okay, let's do that. No, I think it's a bit of noise there. The dollar's come off a little bit. As I mentioned, it was slightly hawkish yesterday when I mentioned this morning, but it's not outrageously hawkish. It went up quite a bit from 103.50 odd to 104, just under 104.50. So that's quite a move. And I think it's just pulled back a bit of up and down. I'm looking at the hour one, which is only just, hang on, it's about to turn over. But the hour one was very much popped up, popped down, popped up again. I think it's more noise of the market. As you can see now, the green back again. Okay. Well, it's not a lot to analyze. Same principle, what should we call it, of technical analysis. I've got the hour, so you can hear me all right, with the thunder in the background. I've got the hour at the moment. Clearly, it's pushed around by trades. Remember, it's a tradable instrument, not on the MT5, but out there, it's a tradable instrument. And people buy and sell in all ways you would on a chart technical analysis. But also clearly very much affected by the fundamentals. And the same sort of thing. The guys are waiting on you before taking positions, moving it up and down. So nothing more than that. Yeah, it's not the strongest in the firmament, which it was maybe a couple of months or so, 6 weeks or whatever it was ago. It was 114, but it's still holding above the 103 mark. And I think again a little bit of decision where to next. So there's nothing particularly brilliant I'd come out with on that one. Basically, again, going back to my favorite phrase, common sense, really. Just look at it more or less, the movements, the fundamentals, and the buyers and sellers dropping around. We've had 3 interest rate decisions, all as expected. In fact, all 4 have been very unsurprisingly as expected. Swiss came out at 0.5%, Euro came out 0.5%, the UK came out with 0.5%, and as you know, the US came out with 0.5%. So, and as you say, I had the US Euro dollar up just now, and you can see it moved around a little bit, came out at 3 o'clock or 3:15 rather, as expected. Had a little bit of movement around. You can see it came popped up, popped down, popping around, etc. So yeah. So get this out of the way.
Yeah, but what was quite interesting, I unfortunately wasn't in front of my computer. I just analyzed it now at 14.35 up to 14.38. All 3 of my trades in the yen hit the stop loss. So the yen moved quite rapidly at that point in time, it seems.
Yeah, a couple of people, I think it was Drew who asked me, should I modify the stop? And I said, yeah, you do not know, again, the reaction to these interest rates. Sometimes you get a fall off, an interest hike and vice versa, depending on how they take that reaction. So I thought, play safe, you're in a profit, quite a decent one, rather get it up to 40, I think that's what I advised. We're still out of the way. Again, if any doubts, take it, still out of the way, came off a bit, went up a bit, and then the fund is affected to a certain extent, stopped out. Now, the next question is usually what happens. We're doing all right. Can I go in again? I'm not sure I want to chase it again now. You've taken a profit. You know, enjoy your glass of wine or whatever, rather than chasing it again. You know, the dollar could weaken a bit more. In fact, I'll be quite honest, where it's going to go from here, I can't even give you a clue. I mean, I know we're taking an overall picture. I obviously can't say it's going to go to 45 or 25 the next few minutes. That's absolutely impossible. But I'm saying I'm not sure we're going to go to 137 or come back to 136. It's total decision on the dollar at the moment and a few other things. So I personally think you made some bucks on it, leave that alone and look for something else. Don't try and jump back in it again. It could go either way. I'm still in favour of the long. I'll give you on due on that one, but not enough to say where we're going to put the stop. Let's go to the daily. Put the stop down here somewhere. You're going to risk, you risk, about $13 if you put it there. That's what's that? 130, just over 200 rand for 1 micro. And the off chance it's going to go up to here, which is a 1-to-1 risk reward. It's not worth it. The likelihood up, clearly technically, and I think the dollar will push it slightly up as well. Oil is still doing sort of okay. It got pretty close to 83. Maybe Mr. Luke got out at 83. So he did okay with modifying the TP. But there's not enough there to say go for it, especially after a nice win there, View and company. Why risk putting it back again on an emotional, let's go and have another bash at it kind of strategy, if you see where I'm coming from. As I keep saying, you know, it's Farney, not Farney, sorry, Dougie's here at the moment. Marius will say, discipline is key. And I think rather than miss out on the potential, it's not even missing out on the potential, it's just the odds are not in your favour going in again at this stage. I agree with the long still, but probably if he gets a better price, if he comes back and attacks this, and the DXY is still okay, then we can buy again from these levels and take it back up, stop down here. Then the proper trade potential. At the moment, that's just chasing it. That's what I think anyway. That's more emotional chasing it than anything else. You might get lucky. I don't know. You can't say, oh, but I did do it anyway. I got lucky. Well, good luck, you got lucky. But that's not the strategy, being lucky. Yeah, to a certain extent, but I think it's getting near the bit of a bottom. I get a bit of a power from gold. I think gold actually, I expect a bit of upside now. I think it's come off today, $35 US. I think you're going to get some profit taking. Let's see, okay, the weakening of the dollar is going to come off a little bit. It's going to maybe add a little bit of a profit taking bounce here. And the yields, I've just checked the yields, they've come off. I'll copy and paste that to you as well. Keep an eye on the yields. Just a second. See, you can see if you look at it there, the yields have come off quite a bit. So I'm expecting a bounce there. If anything, I would say that's a trade to the upside. The stop down here, maybe a $15 stop, and I think you can take it back to at least 200. Might not go risk reward, and maybe you pop its head above 200. I think to trade the upside there.
Yeah, I looked at the DXY, and my projection is that the DXY will go down to approximately 103.159. That was last visited on the 2nd of May.
Ah, are you an engineer? Wow, that is precise. Ah, brilliant.
Not really engineer, but a scientist, yes.
Ah, you're a scientist, are you?
Used to be.
Oh, right. Okay. Not in chemicals, were you?
Yebo Gogo. I worked for Sasol, built Mosgas, and so forth.
Okay. Well, the only thing I know about chemistry is this old little ditty. I might amuse you. A week for little Farney, alas, he is no more. For what he thought was H2O was H2SO4. You don't understand chemicals, you understand that one. But I thought I'd amuse you. Okay.
Yes, no, I agree.
Yeah. The original one was Tommy. I just changed the Farney because it's you, just for fun. And it rhymes, so it worked quite well. Anyway, yeah, okay, that's fine. Okay, yeah, I have to be honest with you, I don't actually disagree with you. I think it could well get a pullback. My worry actually is not the scientific point of view. My worry is the indecision. And when you get that kind of indecision, you get a lot of emotional pushes up and down. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a very good chance, especially if the inflation aspects come down, the jobless claims were more than expected. Sorry, were less than expected, which means there's more people, less people going on welfare. So that was, in a way, it's slightly inflation, I suppose you could look at that. But it's just, yeah, I tend to agree with you. I think it's got a good chance to come back to 103. I don't know about 103.129 or something like that. But a good chance it might attack 103-ish area. But I still think, and I'm not being particularly scientific here, guys, and I mean that. I still think that there's a lot of doubt in those areas of the big debt area and the slightest hawkish tone, which I am not the slightest bit surprised with. Sorry if I'm shouting, the racket in the background is hectic. and I'm a bit of a shouter anyway. Not a screamer, guys, a shouter. Excuse me. I cannot see how he can go away if he's a man of some form of integrity, which he said he is, and he's not. He's being apolitical, away for keeping a strong eye on that inflationary target because of the ballooning debt we've talked about so much. So I still think he's got that interest rate up his sleeve. He's hinted at the hawkishness, which again, if that does start occurring, any hint, he's got to go back to 75 from 50, that dollar's going to go up again. So that is really the push and pull of it. Have you heard of Dr. Dolittle and the push we pull you, where this animal, obviously a made up animal, had a head on, had two heads, one in the front and one in the back. It's called a push me pull you. And I think it's a bit of a push me pull you situation at the moment. So I'm certainly not ruling out 103 whatsoever. And I'm not ruling out 106 or 105.50. I just think the likelihood, personally speaking, is this worry of this ballooning debt and this inflationary aspect, which is basically causing so much havoc. And it's a lot higher than expected. Believe it or not, it's higher than this country's inflation. Can you believe it? Hey. So yeah, I take it completely what you're saying, but starting to move up a couple of duck bucks into it. Okay, so there we are. But bottom line, watch it. If you come off to 104, could bounce up. It's very, very difficult to call. There's a lot of fundies and emotions flying around out there, and more to the point, a lot of indecision. So I'm not confident to call it. Okay, but I take your point entirely. I'm not saying I'm being clever, I really do take your point. 102, I'd be surprised, but 103 is a very strong possibility. Yes, to be honest, I'm going to look at the Dow on my other chart, go on the other chart, and that at the moment is 352 pips down. So if that's down 352, likely the S&P is likely to be down. I trust you've all modified your stop. I think you'll find if you're short on the shares, a bit of good news on opening in 20 minutes time or so, 18 minutes time, because markets come off. So yeah, if you're in the S&P still, some of you might have been, you can maybe modify and stop a bit. I'm expecting some more down movement. So give it a bit of a range, maybe 39.70, and then hope we can maybe take out 39 and hit toward the TP. My only worry on the technical basis is, as you can see, we've got quite a bit of resistance on the daily chart. I hope you can hear me. I see if I'm showing what rules here. So I've got load shedding, so we've got this side lamp on. Okay, it's a little bit better. Okay, let's run some fresh air and stuff it. Okay, yeah, so it's a bit of support here. It might get a bit of a bounce here, but the overall area is down, and there's a good chance it will come back here. So I think to protect yourself, 39.70 if you're still in. If you're not in, finally coming, I wouldn't be joining it now. Clearly, look at the technicals on that. But if you're still in, maybe 39.70. If you get some more, great. If you don't, you made a profit of what, 80 pips, which you can't scream at too much. Okay, that's my take there. But the good news, if anybody's short and any stocks, you should get a pleasant move in your direction. Went up yesterday, we expected that. Well, I'm expecting to open down today. We'll look at the NASDAQ now on that subject. So if I'm still shouting, the noise goes, just remind I'm still shouting. Okay, yeah, you see it's NASDAQ's kind of quite a bit. Again, support, it's or resistance, or whatever you want to call it there. I'm looking at downside, so I would call that resistance. Could get a bit of a bounce there, I don't know. But at the moment, it is down since yesterday. That's the bottom line. So that should be fine. Oh, yes, Brady, yes, I just said that, yeah. Move it closer. Maybe to 70, sorry, 70. Was it 39.70 what it was? Would you stop? Can you protect you in a profit? Whatever happens, absolutely. I'm very much stronger than I have been in the past on modified stop losses. It wasn't always like this. It's just this lot of indecision, a lot of fundamental issues out there. The fact that we've all got smartphones, we're very easily sort of open to all this media coming through to us. So I've missed out some decent profits but hell, I've missed out on some losses where the guys have, done okay and then turned around and to my winning into a loser. So I'm happy to take my smaller profits on the modified stop loss to risk leaving the SL to grab a TP out of it and the thing never materializes. So that's just my specific stance. Other guys might disagree, but that is entirely up to them. That's just my stance. Right, I just want to go over something here that guys are still in it. I don't think there's many still in it. And some might have taken, got fed up with it, but it's actually done out okay in the end. We got to 81. It's now 10, 70 odd. It's about 70 odd pips in profit. So anybody still in there, clearly again, modify your stop. Maybe make it you'll probably get a bounce at 59. So around about these levels, I normally say modify your stop because it's a coward's way out. You say take it and it bounces and it continues down. You're not very happy. I think in this case, it might be an idea to take it. If I'm wrong, sorry about that, but it was still your decision. But I think instead of modifying your stop to 59.30, hits the round figure and bounces and takes you out 9.30. Why not get out around these levels? So it gets to 59 or starts to pop up a bit. I think just take the bloody thing. Been in it long enough, anyone's left in it, that is, and bank a reasonable profit. And that's still a substantial win on that trade. Okay. Now, let's go back to a couple of others. Let's go back to a couple of others we're discussing. We were in CHFJPY. You guys didn't want to take it this morning. It's a bit of a pity because you've done fine. You've been up about 80, 90 pips now. Again, too late to chase it. So that should definitely sell. It's a bit of a pity. Came back, stopped people out in a lovely profit. And I thought there's a chance. It wasn't 145, but this is 146.50 to take for another bounce up. And I thought that might be a good idea. Stop down there. Guys weren't keen, so I didn't write it down or go for it. But as it turned out, all right, it's easy in hindsight to say it's a bit of a pity. It's a nice profitable trade. But anyway, you're not on board now. Leave it, but still it's a profitable trade. You can do, Seth, if you want, or you can take it. You might get a bounce at the round figure, and then you'll hit you at the stop, but you hit your stop at 35 away, which is obviously lesser profit than getting out around now. One of the few times I think the round figure might get a bounce on there. Normally a little bit of one, but I think it's good. I don't see this Swiss franc, it's not NZD rather, being that at the moment that weak. I might be wrong, but not so sure about that. So I personally probably better get out of it around the round figure. But if you feel you want to do that, great. And you're still in, you've made a profit by putting it 35 pips away, and it takes that round figure out. You're still on board. What a pleasure. So up to you. But I'm giving upfront honesty. I'm putting my hand up saying I think around those levels maybe it might be able to get out. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But at least you're in a profit, whatever direction you take. That's the most important part. Okay.
How's it, Roger?
Right. Go for it. Go for it.
How are you?
Fine, thanks. Yeah.
How you can hear me?
Yeah. Who's that?
It's Zephrino.
Oh, Zeph. Yeah, I see your name. I see Zeph. Yeah.
Good. Great. Yeah, no, I moved my stop loss to level. What's it now? Quickly. To 135.86. So I think it will. NZD's. Yeah.
NZD-CHF.
Yeah.
We said something about 143 or something like that. Now.
So if you go on the hour, you'll see it. I don't think it will come in test.
Sorry, you're losing me. What's 143 here? You're talking about
no,
the last
134. 135. No, man, I'm looking at, wrong one. Sorry. 0.5941.
That's good enough. Good enough.
I don't see it coming to test that again.
I don't know. I'm not sure about that. I think it's going to bounce around figure and knock you out of that level. I personally think no harm in doing it. You still made a profit, but I think it's going to hold that. It's going to hover and it's going to bounce up maybe 40, maybe a bit more. I don't know. And then before it sees what it's going to do, then so it means that you're going to be a profit at 40 or a profit at 10. I'd rather take the 10. You know what I mean? So I think just hang 5. I'll tell you what you can do. Put it at 40 and see if you can get to the 59 round figure mark and it hovers and starts to move up, take it. If it goes through, what a pleasure. That's probably the best way around it.
All right.
Make sense?
Yeah. No, it does. Perfect.
Good enough.
Well done, Zé. Well done.
Awesome. Thanks.
Yep, you hanged on in there. Good man. Don't know else is in there, but hope if you are, follow that advice. Okay.
Roger, same as my NZD USD is doing also quite well.
Okay, so look at it. You're the buy there, yeah.
No,
Well, it's
so
technically a sell. Oh, right. How's it doing quite well? Wait, you got in here something about a week ago.
I got in there. I got in yesterday already.
Yesterday, well, the highest it made yesterday is where it is now. How could it be the profit?
I'm in a profit.
That's not
I
possible.
got in at the price at 0.64425 or 42.
That's above yesterday's high. You couldn't have been in there yesterday. Also, 1 hour chart. Sorry, get real, man. Yes, you could have done that. Yes, so that's on the 1 hour chart. Beg your pardon. Yeah, okay, that's great. Okay, yeah, that's fine.
But
so
I've moved my stop
there,
loss already.
Yeah, good enough. Might get a bounce there. Fair enough. Who knows? Yeah, okay, that's fair enough. Euro USD. I don't know if you took it. It did have a bounce. Remember we mentioned this morning a very likely hawkish starts from what's her name, Lagarde, the ECB, and she's continuing on with that in the Q&A after interest rate decision. Remember, all interest rates were exactly as expected. Don't forget that. So no surprise there. They don't like to spook the market, so that's fine. That's not the issue. It's a Q&A, and she's maintaining a hawkish stance. So as we mentioned this morning, and we discussed it, so I saw upside, but you got more courage in me to take it before these things happen, because daft things do happen when figures are released and sometimes surprising results occur. But the likely was up, likely the hawkish stance. In this case, it bore out quite well. And let's go to an hourly chart, a bit easier, as it looked as that. See, it did go up nicely. So I don't know if you took it, but if you did, it was definitely the right decision. I agreed in the long, but I was just bloody worried about doing it, because I've seen some stuff saying, well, that should happen. Why didn't that happen? Was it yesterday? Oxy came off and Brett was going up, you know, those sort of things. So I'm always a bit wary of sometimes reactions to things. Okay, but anyway, if you took it, well done. GBP JPY, another one to look at. You might have got stopped out in the interest rate release noise. I don't sure, because we got it down at 166.50. Did it get there today? No, hang on. 168.50. No, sorry. Would have got there at the stop. I think the guys in that trade modified their stop to obviously protect profits. And I think it was 167.70, which I mentioned you should maybe modify it to 167.70. I don't think it got there. I think you were just lucky. Did anybody get stopped out in there? Was any guy still in there and with a big smile on their face?
I got stopped out.
Let's see why that is, actually, because look at this. What did you put your stop at? Because I said 70. According to this, is 80. And even the spread didn't get to 70. What did you have to stop at?
136.5.
No, I'm talking about GBP JPY.
Oh, sorry. 168.55.
Oh, that's fine. That's bloody perfect. It's better than it is now. If you got stopped at 168.55, you got a smile right across your face, my friend, because that means you made a 200 pip profit. What a pleasure. Am I correct? That's my maths anyway.
Your maths is correct.
Oh, bloody brilliant. Oh, listen to this. He's keeping quiet on that because he knows a couple of guys made like poor old Mike there a couple of losses. And he wonders why he might get some begging letters sent. Oh, I see. Caught you. Okay, I've got his address, guys. But to get that address off me, you've got to send me some bucks, okay? No, well done. On a serious note, well done.
No. I'm thankful for that. I just got quite a situation with regard to the NAS.
Bloody NAS. Leave the soddy thing alone, fine. Everyone, it's hey ladies, like a charismatic boyfriend, exciting, but you never trust the bugger.
Yeah, I know it happened with this CPI that I pushed the wrong, closed the wrong one. This, what was it? Stop buy and sell buy, and that's since then that I'm struggling with it. But I'll get
Gotcha.
over it. It's gonna
I
cost me a
honestly-
little.
Yeah, I know. I'll answer me this, guys. I sometimes feel that fat finger, in the trade, we call it fat finger. It's nothing to do with you got a fat finger, literally or not. So don't be upset. It's called fat finger. So, oh, fat finger. Don't think I'm being physically abused, if you know what I mean. So it's called fat finger. And I can't tell you how many billions have been lost over the years in trading through the fat finger. And it's so frustrating because you can't blame the government. You can't blame the dog, your wife, your kids. You can't blame me. Can't blame anybody. It's our own fault, you know, and that's probably the most difficult thing to bear. You can't blame anybody. It's frustrating.
I'm blaming the mouse that put the arrow on the wrong.
Yeah, I've done that as well. I'm waiting to close an order. Has had it on the chart waiting to close it. Something interrupted, and I clicked the button by mistake in the discussion and knocked myself out. That happened to me literally quite recently. God, I was annoyed. And it was a beaut, and it became naturally, sod's law, stepped from a beaut to an absolute beaut. Hell, I was annoyed. And I couldn't chase it now because, you know, the mass was against me. The risk reward being out of kilter. God, I was annoyed. And it's always thus, John. People say, what's you talking about, this sod's law? I'm telling you, don't care if you're a scientist or not. It bloody well exists. It soddy well exists. It wouldn't be the trade, thank goodness I had a fat finger on that one. It would be the one, the least you wanted a fat finger on. Yeah. No, I blame sod's law. It's like the commentator's curse, eh? Well, this match is wrapped up. We're going to win this. Then the next guy scores a try, scores a century, scores a bloody goal. I don't know. It's the way it is. We laugh, but it's bloody annoying. Oh, you took profit. Okay, Silesian profit. Please, guys, don't start chasing again now. That's a natural thing you want to do. Did all right, and that will chase it now, and then it comes back. I've seen that a lot. Now they're very fed up. Now, enjoy it and find something else. Okay, right. So, all intents and purposes, you should still be in that one at 70, at 167.70. I think leave the stop there and see if you can get back up again to this sort of level here. If it gets back up to this level here of 168.80, look at maybe either taking profit. Where's the TP? Yeah, that's our take profit anyway there. You might hit a TP. It's pretty close to that earlier on. Oh, hang on a minute. Peak. Did you might just about hit your TP? That's why you took profit. Hey, so you got a smile on your face. You probably did. It came literally about 1 pip short of the profit take. Did it get there? I think it did, 168.80. I think it might have just squeezed there. It might have got there on the ask and not on the bid. That's the only thing. But anyway, yeah, that means that's a TP job. Oh, that's brilliant. Okay, if you're still in there, leave the stop 167. You should have been TP'd out. What a pleasure. So that's another nice one for the road. CHF JPY was a winner. Okay, that's fine. Leave that alone. Dollar yen. Well, most of you guys are out of that. Anyone still in it? Because they're still in profit. You've got your stop loss modified. If you're all out, I don't want to talk about it much again. I don't want to go in now. I just want to put a little bit of ticket on that. All right, go for it.
Yeah, I'm still in the USD JPY.
You're still in JPY. Just hold 5. I'm still happy with it. You should have got in. I don't know where you got in, but I mean, it's a trading.
I got in at price was 135.59.
Okay, that's about trading got at 51 or 50. So that's good enough, more or less the same. I trust you modified.
Yeah, no, I modified my.
Where have you put it to?
I put it to 137.7.
Why, you sure?
I think the signal.
No, that's you can't put the stop loss above on the long. It's got to be below.
No. That's my TP. My TP is 137.7.
Okay, modified stop.
I modified my stop loss to 135.86.
That's good enough. It's good enough. Good enough. I like that. I know it's a bit of way away, but it's below the round figure. I think we squeeze some more out of it. If you put it up
Yeah.
about close, maybe 10, 136, 10, 15 or 20, it's a good chance pull back, knocks you out and
Yeah.
goes up. You'll be a bit annoyed. I'm happy with that. It's good enough.
Perfect.
Good. Right, so they're all looking good. What's the time? 1:30. Hang on, forget to put my alarm on. Let's go to the NAS. What is the NAS doing? Everything that's unexpected, probably. This is the NAS is the creator of Sod's Law, and I also call it the heroin of trading. Once you trade the NAS, it's withdrawal effects to get the guy off it. But it usually ends up like heroin, not doing a big favor. But anyway, let's have a look. Addictive, indeed it is. Like most things do, doesn't do you much favor. Right, Baba, that's typical. Hey, that is sodding Sod's Law. Remember I said just now, it's come off since yesterday, like the shares will open down. So what does the bloody thing do? The only reason that's up, because I just said a few minutes ago, to prove Sod's Law, that things are bunched up. I'm making a bit of a joke of it, or I'm annoyed, because it's not disastrous yet. It's only about $1 in the negative compared to our entry, but I expect it to be taken down 87, 86 on opening, so not quite sure of that. Unless there's some funding coming out with some profit was better, or something came out within the corporation of the, Alibaba that was quite good, and then it's just been released there. I don't know of that, by the way. Might happen. I can't keep an eye on all the, the what you call it, the balance sheet of every single sodding share out there. Well, some guys want, but I can't, so I don't. Okay, but anyway, that might be the reason. What about the others? What's Oxy doing? Now oil's coming off, Oxy might be going up. No, it isn't. Just being awkward. Yeah, it's a bit of a disappointment. Anyway, so after all that, Microsoft. Maybe get a bit of hope on you, Mr. Microsoft. Yeah, Microsoft is coming off. Good. Did anyone take it in the end? We've got one out here. Someone must have taken it because we've got it written down at 261.50. It's about just under $9 in profit per share, and that's doing okay. Anybody? You're in it, John. That's right. I think it's your idea, or was it mine? No, it was my idea, and you liked it. That's right. Anybody else in this one? Don't make a big song and dance of it and take half an hour on the damn thing if only one or two are in it. Anybody in it apart from John? Anybody in it apart from John?
No.
There might be, but they're not in. You are Brady. There might be a couple of guys who are not in the trading room at the moment. Okay, right. I think we'll do some stop loss modifying. We don't, as you know, winners into losers. Where can we put the stop? I think you can open there. So just above there. Put it at 250. Make it 257.50. So if something goes wrong, you're going to make $4 a share, which is, you're not going to buy your next Ferrari on it, but it's at least a profit. So I don't know what position size you got, but it'll be $4 a share profit if it hits your stop. So whatever happens, you should be okay there, and see if you can continue down to the TP, which is a long way from here. It's 240, whether it gets there or not. So it takes out 250. You can move your stop again, but you're doing okay. You're doing okay. And if that NAS turns and starts doing daft things, you might as well take the profit. Up to you if you're in front of it. Okay, so that's another one looking pretty good. S&P's pretty good, and that's all I've got. Oh yeah, the only one that's feeling a bit of a down hit are stop loss. We have half a dozen are pretty good there. Is EURNZD. That unfortunately our stop loss. So a bit of reality check there. I think our stop loss was hit yesterday at 66.10. There's a good area example of a stop loss. 66.10 with the stop, disappointing, but thank goodness for the stop loss. That is 165 pips away from the stop loss. You operate with a stop loss now, you'd have been in serious anxiety. See what I mean? So we stopped out one of those things, put a cross through it, stopped out yesterday, should have crossed it out yesterday, one of those things. But there is a classic example of a stop loss. Thank goodness for it. I know somebody wish you hadn't got a stop, hits it and then goes in the right direction. But this is a perfect example where that rescued your ass. Okay. All right. So I can't say we've been playing S&P, Microsoft. That's 1, 2, GP 3, CHF 4, 5 US JPY, 5 wins, 1 loss. I don't think we're going to shout too much on that and complain and report me to the Squirrel Ramaphosa, because I think that's not a bad setup. Okay, that's about us run out at the moment of ideas as regards trades. Oh yeah, the gold, should go back to it. I thought there was a possibility of a bounce here. Have we missed it? I think we might have missed it. Pity. Want to get it 1778. We moved on. Maybe that's my fault. I don't know. Want to get it 1778 for a TP around about the 1800. I think it might be a bit late to chase it. Yeah. Might be a bit late to chase it. Pretty should have stayed with it. Sorry about that. Maybe make it less too far. Maybe make it a tighter stop. We might be able to get it then. $17.7, $12. Yeah, make it a $12 stop, and then take it up to here. Make it go that far. Take it up to $1,800. Yeah, might squeeze it. $11 stop, and that means it's a 15. Well, let's make it $16. Might squeeze it. $16 TP, $11 stop. Anyone like it? I'll put the RR up if you like it. If you don't, well, no, I don't want to waste your time. I think there's a good chance for a bounce here. If you don't like it, I'm not going to waste your time with the calculator. You know? Okay. Remember Sodom and Gomorrah? If one person like it, will save the city. $11. So what's that? 1771. I'll make it, might just scratch through, make it 1801, just to try and get some sort of a valid TP. Guys, will work. Pity. So you're going to have to take it up here. Sorry, guys. That's not going to work. A little bit further. That's just about squeeze it. It's only $22 a micro. So it's quite a cheap one for anybody there can do that one. And it's moving as we speak. So if you like it, you better get in, put the SLs in afterwards. Otherwise, you're going to miss the boat. Maybe we didn't stick around to 778 about half an hour ago. We'd be already 5 in profit. Pity. Anyway, we didn't. Okay, so you want it, there it is. I'm going to write down anyway, just to see how it goes on. Gold, 1782. 50 to be fair. 1771. 1806. I'll do. Don't overdo it, guys. It's a funny mark at the moment. If your risk is 10, maybe go for 5 or 6, but it's up to you. Anyway, that's $25. Is it moving? Yeah, not surprising there. That's quite a nice one. We'll see how we come back to that. Okay. Got a pen and paper handy, can't hang around all day. Let's go back to it. We should have it ready to rock and roll. Don't forget that little tip. If you're going into something that's moving, you don't want to be missing out. Don't do a fat thing by rushing it. But get your volume sorted, get the order in, and then afterwards go to modify and put the SL and TP in. I very rarely put the SL and TP in at that time. Not if you're new to it, maybe not bad habit, you might forget. But I usually go into it and then I go and immediately modify it when I've got some time to do it properly because I'm in the trade. Okay, it's not moving much, it might not, but just in case it's a moving. You don't want to spend 10 minutes trying to put the SL and TP in. You've gone from 70, 80 to 85. Now the whole thing's up to magnitude. All your calculations are all incorrect. Anyway, just a little bit of a thing there. Okay, right. You'll got position size calculator. We all know that. You'll know how to do specifications, know what your margin is, what the contract size is, the properties. If you don't, and you don't know what the hell I'm talking about, say so, and I'll show you. Won't take long. And you've all got the DXY, the yields on the 10-year note. You've all got the economic calendar, vital parts these. Particular calendar and the DXY. You're trying to get clever. I see what you mean there to say we can get maybe a short on it. I see what you're thinking there. Let's have a look. Aha. Seem to getting there, and I haven't been shorting it now. CHF JPY 148 seem to be getting there. Looks like a good chance. No, it'll probably open up here tomorrow in this area here. Make sure. Look at the 200s down here. It's going to open up in the buy zone. So it might get up there, come back, test this area and bounce. Then we'll buy it. But don't short it, no. Will it continue to go up? If I knew that, Mr. Tembinkosi, I'd make the Fed want to borrow money off me. But no, I can't. No. But what I think is going to happen, where's 148? Just see if we got it right. If it gets there, I tell you, don't trade this, by the way, please. What I think will happen be some profit taking. There's going to be a lot of TPs there. Remember, those TPs are sell orders. And those sell orders mean that exit sell orders will push the price down. There will be a lot of other guys manually exiting. And I think there'll be enough volume out there to get a bit of a pullback. The extent of that pullback, I have no idea. So don't try and short it. Be out, enjoy your profit. And if it pulls back tomorrow or whatever, or going to money, I don't know, around about these levels here, and it's holding, we can put a stop here and take it back up again somewhere when we get a risk reward. Okay, but don't try and sell it. Don't get cute and sell it. It's a bit high. And selling the pullbacks going into a very strong trend, not a good idea. If you're an experienced scalper with tiny little costs and won't go down the spreads route, maybe we can play around with it. Even that's a bit dangerous. Done it a few times, not too badly, but it's not something I could recommend for most people. Rather be patient, look for something else and get the pullback. Okay, now I want to go back to the yen again, just to see if anything happening there. No, leave it. It's going up again. Well done, Zeph. Leave it. Okay. Okay, Tembinkosi. I'm just calling it Nkosi. It's easier if you don't mind. Come back. No, you call my proper name. I don't call you Roger. Oh, I'm sorry. But Nkosi if you're not offended by that. Okay, try and get pronounceable. Okay, where were we? Let's have a look. Anything happened that Sonny Baba? That surprising jump there. Remember, this is only a few minutes old. It says a daily candle. It's only just over an hour old. Sorry, it's only 10 minutes old, this candle. Popped up and then gave up to this lower level here. Interesting. If you're noting, we should have thought of a short there, but it seems to be coming back. We're back in a bit of profit. That's good news. BA, I've completely given up on. That's just driving me insane. And I'm still stuck in it. Good luck. Okay, shouldn't be anybody left in that thing. Leave the bloody thing alone. Microsoft, is it still coming off a bit? NAS is coming off to micro should be. Yeah, that's coming off. So we're doing okay on that one as well. Okay, so I don't think we've got any other shares out as far as I know. So that's not too bad. And I think your gold, last I looked a moment ago, it seemed to be coming right. So anybody who took the gold should be smart. If you haven't taken it, don't get clever and chase it now. It's too late. Okay, got a bit of a breather. Sorry for you guys, got through fairly quickly. We need to do a bit of a quick wrap on opening, just so we are all on plane, and that comes first. Clearly, those more experienced probably kept up and be quite happy. Okay, now we can relax a little bit, look for new stuff, discuss any learning you want to know. Hi, Brian, good to have you there. I like your name there. Okay, good to have you there. So yeah, I mean, Sephora comes in a lot, so you might as well learn a little bit about what's going on. That's good. See what we do on here. Great, glad to have you. More pleasure. We're on the daily. Seems to be holding here. This doesn't it? Very nice. Okay. Yeah. So any questions you want to ask on clarification? You're on the DXYs. You all got it. You all got your position size calculator. If you haven't, ask. I say what specifications. What am I talking about? Ask. I can copy and paste the economic and the DXY, all that sort of nonsense, which is coming. Sorry, the Dow's still coming off. The DXY is coming off. So, hey, it suddenly popped down. What happened? Let's go check the economic calendar again. Something must have happened. A press conference, nothing to do with the USA. Retail sales were +3. That's already out of the way. And it suddenly jumped down. So finally, and the looks like it might be on track. We were the other day at 104, remember? It might get back there, but to me, it's a bit of a guess at the moment. It's come off a bit, so we might see a little bit. And I think the oil's come off a bit. You might see a bit of a pullback on this one. So what's happening? Going up further. Go figure. Thanks, Tembinkosi. Go figure. Be wary of that FSF. Might get a bit of a pullback. The dollar's weakening a bit, and looks like oil's weakening a bit as well. Yeah, well, not much, but it has weakened a little bit. But anyway, hit the 83, I think. So well done for that extra modified TP. Oxy, if you're not stopped out, leave the bloody thing alone. If you make a bit of a profit, it's move your stop up. One scalps by doing a range trade. You'd have to pick something like gold, or maybe make sure you don't do it on the NAS. Volatile. Maybe euro dollar with a very low cost, and you put, let's say a 4-hour chart of the euro dollar. Give you results. Very simple. Nothing particularly complicated about it. Just got to be in front of you. Go out and do your shopping, get your hair done, or go for a meal. You know, you get in front of you, whatchamacallit, and you find a range. Like this is a bit of a range here. So you maybe put a little horizontal line there, and maybe another horizontal line somewhere. Where's that horizontal line gone? Around about, say, there. Maybe make it a bit more conservative there. What's that distance? And then you got to check the distance. Is it worth your while? 50 pips. It's a bit light. I prefer about 60, 70. But that's around about what you do. Because remember, it costs aren't much on that, and you trade the range. Bounce off there, stop down here, aim there, and then stop up there, send it down there, and then get out there, and vice versa. That sort of thing. Got to be on it. And yeah, it's as simple as that. Well, simple. I think it's simple as that. But that's the general idea. Okay. But you can do it because it's quite moving. But the problem with the S&P Dow and the NAS are that the spreads are quite wide. So I'm not that keen. But the euro is one of the cheapest ones to do. It's about a 1.5 pip spread. So you can do, then you can capture maybe a 50 pip range. Let's try shorter terms. You can do a 1 on the hour. See, it takes a bit of time. This is where your problem is in scalping. Now you get bored. You've entered now, you've aimed up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's serious boring. Yeah, that's your problem. So I think the only problem I find with scalping is to get something at low cost, pretty stable, not stable, wrong word, but sometimes not as volatile as others can be, and you're going to give up from boredom. So if you had lower cost than NASDAQ's ideal. Let's go to the NASDAQ, get a better example. Just the cost of, if we can do some of that as a company, that would be an ideal one. We're working on it. I hope it's going to come through, and that will be ideal because then you'll have good for more spreads, so it'll be more for the company, and you'll be happy, and everybody's happy. So we can find an area here on the 1 hour. If you took that as a 1 hour, that's 67 pips, which is more than the euro, and you can be in and out 2 or 3 times in those hours. So if you see, it's going to keep you on it, and you're not going to get frustrated and bored and give up on it like you were in the euro dollar. But I hope you see what I mean. I've explained it fairly well, very quickly. But as long as you got the concept, pick one and take it from there. Okay. But again, remember the costs involved. Well, nothing's that easy in this practice. I'm telling you right now, it wasn't when you first got in that damn car, was it? Anything but bloody easy. Bit of practice. What you can do is a quiet moment in trading, Anna Marie. And I get the feeling you take to this like that to water. You want to make a go of this. So rather, when you got maybe a 2 or 3 hours spare, go onto your demo, play around, find one, and do a couple of demo trades just to get the hang of it, and then try a very small couple of ones well within your budget on a live one and pick up. If it sort of comfortable works for you and tweak it a bit, what a pleasure. If it doesn't, never mind, you haven't lost much, you learned something, go back to what you're doing before. Okay, good enough. And always keep that fundamental counter handy. You're doing a nice buddy NAS or a euro dollar or gold trade there, and you've completely forgotten that this particular stage, funding comes out and you're long, the thing shoots down there. All right, it might get stopped out, but if it's a big one, it might go through your stop. We call that slippage. So you know the technology in the future. There you are, good for you, NK. We call that slippage, where fund is so powerful it goes right through. There's no buyers and sellers where your stop is. It goes through it, and then the only buy and sell occurring here, and that's where they get out. We discussed it a couple of days ago, was it yesterday? Just bear that in mind, okay? So if you got your stop there, you're long, and a big funding comes out, Don't panic. You panic as much as you like. Doesn't matter. Nothing to do about it. There's no bad seller there. It goes, gets you out there. So be it. Just bear it. Doesn't happen that often, but just be aware of it. And you shouldn't have that problem if you keep minimize that what you call it, that fundamental handy. And if you've got bucks and you're making a go of this, enjoying it, suggest you get a proper workstation. I use actually a TV as my monitor. It's not a monitor, TV. And that's what you're looking at the moment, is a TV. And I have that set up to my right, and I'm looking into the camera now. That's where my laptop is, and I can flip from one to the other. That's when you're down the line, when you're more confident. Okay, if you want to do it properly, get the tools, they say. Okay, good enough. Naz is coming off, so maybe getting some more out of this Bubba. Yep, Bubba's coming off. It's back to profit. Goody, goody, goody. It's goodies, goodies, goodies. Nice, eh? Thought it'd come off a bit more. I think Microsoft might take out 250 again. What a pleasure. So that's doing quite nicely. Yeah, what's the time? Yeah, plenty of time to go. That's about me at the moment on the trading front. We've had a pretty good day after the Wednesday fiasco. It's not been too bad from yesterday. How's our gold doing? Those who took it, but did actually. It's hovering around there. Okay, if you've got 1778, I say get your stop up right now to that, and at least you've saved yourself the risk. But it's a bit quick to put in now if you've got an 82. If you've got above 82, you're in the high. Certainly don't chase it now. You should be in a couple of bucks profit, we'll see. My worry is not my worry, somewhere around, yeah. Yeah, dollars come off a bit, we might squeeze a bit more. We'll see anyway. But try that NK, and yeah, that's about all right. Oh, that's the other one, was the ZAR. Remember I explained the high margins and high costs. Hasn't happened much, been a bit disappointing. It's made some bucks, you can see, but it's not exactly shot the lights out. If you want to go, we would have gone in down here somewhere. Did anybody take the ZAR trade?
Yes, I did, but my entry was slightly high, was on 1731.
Oh, shame. She's still in profit. Oh, shame. Ha ha. I'm really kidding. That's great news. I thought you said you got in at 1740 or something. You'd be a bit pushed because you haven't got there yet. Well, that's all right. You're still in profit. That's fine. I mean, come on now. We're all reasoned, intelligent people here. Yeah, dollars are. We talked about that this morning. Intelligent people here. Are you going to be buying the Rand right now with the threat of the Moody's? What do you call them? The guys there. The what do you call those guys again? I forget the name. It comes to me in a minute. And the impeachment around the corner if it ever occurs. But more of the problem, the Eskom problem. No. Ratings agencies, that's right. The ratings agency talk about another 2 points unless it's sort of Eskom, which is not going to happen, by the way, coming off, as we discussed this morning. You know what I mean? Forget this thing. The rater's got squat to do with it. He was put there with his hands tied behind his back. Now he's got to stop doing it. The only thing to sort that out is a total sudden change of morality at the top and draconian boss in there. Almost a dictatorship of the boss who can say we can hire and fire and there's no this question of strikes or screaming or political interference. Other than that, it's just going to get from bad to worse. We're chasing a bit there. I'm not totally against it, but I think it's okay. It's okay, yeah, guys. Been better than this morning in the 20s, but never mind, you did. Okay, you're in now. I don't criticize now. I don't help the matter at all. But yeah, I do some upside. The only problem I do have with it, it's just come against a bit of resistance here. There might be a bit of profit take. It might pull back a bit. If it does pull back, maybe you can get back at about the 10, 15, 20 mark. Maybe not 10, maybe 20. I don't know. We get another better entry and take it up. But I do see this area here on the cards. Fundamentally, it's not anything else. I don't see why even the dollar weakens a bit. The state of the economy over here, and the whole system is frightening how bad it is. And remember, overseas you get corruption. It can be nasty here, guys. Guys in very high places, not just corrupt. Some are quite incompetent, and that's a major difference. I've come across some of the travellers as well. Pretty nasty, but they're not the world's brightest and in fairly powerful positions. And that's the worry. I mean, even the bloody mafia, they might not be nice people, but they're not bloody, you know. Some of these guys are not exactly, you know, Einstein's not losing sleep on, put it that way. Anyway, moving on. Okay, cheers, Anna-Marie. Catch you. Oh, of course, yeah. Tomorrow's a public holiday. I'm doing a training room tomorrow for an hour or so, if anyone wants to join it. And then Monday back to normal, till Wednesday. And then Thursday, happy Christmas, happy New Year, and catch you in the New Year.
On Wednesday, are you doing afternoon trading as well?
Good question. I hadn't thought of that. As far as I know, I'm doing a full sessions Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Maybe I'll update you later on the Monday, Tuesday area. And I just hadn't thought of that. Maybe Wednesday afternoon not. Well, have a look at the situation then. I'll be honest, Farney, I don't mind doing it if I've got enough interested traders who want to do the job properly. But if you've got 5 or 6 coming in with demo accounts who just want to think they want to be there because they've got nothing better to do, maybe not. So if another of the regular guys there are interested, I might do it anyway. We'll play it by ear and see what happens. As far as I know, yes.
Okay, great. But I won't join you on the 21st. That's my traveling day down to the north coast of KZN.
I go to the north coast. Where are you going?
Going to a place called Sinkwazi. It's about 50
Oh, big
kilometers. You know
Yeah, I know it.
Sinkwazi?
Oh, yeah, I've been a couple of times, 2 or 3 times, yeah. It's just past Princess Grant Golf Course in Sinkwazi, yeah.
Absolutely. That's my village, that.
Yeah. Oh, is it really? Yeah. What's that beautiful restaurant bar where you sit upstairs like a wooden bar, wooden deck, sit outside, go into the restaurant? That one there. I forget the name of it. That's still going. I've been there several times. Put their profits up, I might add on the beer. I tell you right now.
Are you not talking about the ski boat club right on the beach?
Well, it's a bit big in the ski boat club. It's a sort of a restaurant and an outside big an area you can sit outside, and a big bar outside as well, with a sort of a platform wooden deck.
Yeah, it's quite big. It's belonging to the ski boat club. They're renting it from the Stanger municipality, as far as I know.
Oh, that could be it.
It's very nice.
You take the Mickey up, Pete? Is that really what it's called? You might be taking the Mickey, knowing my limitations on the Afrikaans language. I know Fark is pig, but Fark is big fat bar. But yeah, that might be it. But anyway, yeah, that could be well. That sounds like the right description, yeah. Anyway, we'll look at testing for a good shot. Warthog. Okay, thank you. Never know when someone's taking the Mickey. Right, it suits you. Bloody hell. Bloody hell. Sorry, I can't seem to get that day for some reason. Wow. Sure, I can't do that, can I? Bloody hell. Whoa. Now, I take your point. I think it's that low. Maybe get a bit of upside. Well, it seems to hold that level there, doesn't it? I think before we do get anything cute at the moment, NAS is coming off. It might get a further move down. Who knows? It's very weak at the moment. It might get a bounce. Rather sell the bounce, I think. I think it's a bit over Rambo-ish to try and buy the bounce, because that's a bounce. Yeah. Happy with that? We'll come back to it. So we'll do the NAS quickly. Put on the weekly, get more of an idea. Probably can't do it anymore. You still can, I think. Yeah, where have you got there? 10.6, yeah. Still could come all the way back there. I'm going to be honest with you, Gene. I'm not happy with the debt situation in the States. In fact, not many places I'm happy with. Maybe Saudi Arabia is not too bad. I don't know, because all that oil, no cost. But we're far from out of the woods yet. Very good chance of coming back there. Absolutely, very good chance of it coming back there. 10.8 before it hits there. Good chance. Might be if things get even worse. That Powell's doing his best with interest rates, There's only so much you can do. If you keep putting them up, you get stagflation, where you don't get an increase of people because no one will afford to buy the product. Interest rates are too high. So it's like a happy medium, if you like. If you go any further too high, it has a reverse effect. So only so much you can do. They've got to start cutting down on this bloody social debt which they have over there. They're borrowing money like it's nobody's business. It's absolutely terrifying. I think it's about 35 trillion debt now, and they've got the GDP in the region of 20 odd trillion. So it's clearly way over the top, the earnings compared to their debt. So and then the interest rates start to go up with the increase in interest rates. Not a pretty sight, I tell you. That balance sheet is a nightmare. So yeah, what can I say? Yeah, we could well get there, but it'll be a lot of jumping around to do that. Okay. Yeah, I don't know, Brady. I personally think Tesla. I think I keep getting the weekly, it didn't work. I still think I might get a bounce, yeah. But the thing is, even today, remember, this is only an hour and a half old. We give some time to settle down. Gone down further and bounced up, and it bounced up and came down. Look at that for indecision in the last hour and a half. It's that low. What's happening is psychological as well. People are getting a bit scared to chase it for shorting down here. And there'll be some attraction, like guys like Brady think, well, it's get undervalued here, maybe attract a few buyers. Whether it is undervalued or not, it's not really, it's not the point. It's the perception and how much money goes into that perception, if you see what I mean. There's a large amount of money starts thinking, yeah, it's undervalued, we're going to go and start buying it up. It will push up. If they say, then we're going to get out of it there, and other guys say, no, hang on a minute, Tesla's still not so pretty, we'll sell it, it could go back down again. At this stage, rather see if we can get it back here and look how it occurs there to sell it down again, rather than getting too cute to move up. And it's only $8 away on a very volatile instrument of this, or counter as they call it, like this, with a stop down here. I suppose you could, maybe, yeah, you could squeeze it, but I think there's a good chance of getting there. I personally would rather short it around about that level and try and get too cute against a weak trend to buy it up there. But that's my choice. That's my thinking, rather. That's your choice. Okay. Yeah, they did. Share some investors around. Yeah, we had to because the Twitter thing. We know about that. Yeah, well, where we're going from? So dollar Swiss franc. Okay, happy with that, Brady. Good enough. Right, dollar Swiss franc. Now, the problem I have with this one, as I mentioned before, that the dollar can be strong or weak. It's a bit iffy. Before it's the strongest by far, and then it's not the weakest, and it weakened quite a bit. But this one is extremely stable. Swiss is extremely stable. And if I think I want to buy this, I would rather buy the dollar against a weaker currency. You say, but hang on a minute, Roger, look at that chart. You mentioned sometimes in the trading room, you can buy in the sell zone because it's so undervalued, and vice versa in the buy zone. I take your point, but then I look at these buyers and sellers. Look at the candle. You look at the buyers and sellers. It pushed up. So other guys had that similar idea. Who asked for this? Who asked for this one? Okay, Nkosi. Other guys thought this as well. But look how far it moved up. 38 pips. I ain't gonna cut it. You know what I mean? Before the sellers came in again. You're going against a strong trend. Would I sell it now? No, I wouldn't. Would I sell it depending on where the DXY is around there? Probably yes, I would. If the dollar's still around about the 104-ish mark, or slightly below, at least below 104.50, probably would do yes. But at this stage of the game, chasing it now, downside, not so keen. But buying it up now, there's too many ticks to leave it all alone and to go and do that. I personally wouldn't. Just because it's down there is not good enough. You know what I mean? You think your house, you put them out $1 million, nobody took it, 900, now 800. You think some buyer's got to get there. Sure, it's undervalued. But you don't know yet. You might slip to 600 or 650 before the value creeps in. So just be a little bit cautious of that. Remember, if you buy that, you're selling the Swiss franc. It's the most stable currency in the world. And despite interest rate increase, which had a slightly negative effect, interesting enough, back to front, can't take it away. The gnomes of Zurich, you know, the big banks there. Yeah, don't get too cute with the Swiss franc by selling it. And it might have a few days of weakness, but it'll recover. Is it? Well, there you are. It's quite surprising, actually. Taking out 104 on the index, I thought it might have a bit of a pullback, but clearly not. And especially as the oil seemed to come off last week. Look, oil's come off a bit. I thought it might get a pullback there. Interesting that, but clearly not. Okay, the buyers still like it. Buyers are still pushing it. Probably a lot of buyers are pushing it up there for technical reasons. They're seeing the high there. They're seeing a bit of a resistance around about these levels. And maybe the buyers are not looking at the fundamentals. And there's enough buyers out there. There's enough institutionals, quick high-speed traders, banging volumes in there to maybe push it up there from a technical basis. But whatever the reason is, the smile's obviously on your face. It might be an idea to modify your stops there. Not that I need to tell you that. You know this. Yeah, well, there you are. It's just said exactly. Modify it again. Get it up. Maybe get it just below 137. Maybe make it 137.85. Sorry, 136.85. It's only 25 pips away. It's below the round level. If you stopped out, you're smiling big time. If you're not stopped out, well, you won't be able to get through the door. Your head will be too big. Your smile will be all over them. The sunshine will be bigger than the sun in the firmament. But don't get carried away here, Roger, but you know what I mean. Yeah, so see what happens. But I'm starting to think it's getting a little bit of an exhaustion area. I think it's technicals pushing it. If the fundamentals start saying pull back to me. Is it? Oh, goody. It is indeed, yeah. So there you are, guys. The ones that took that one. Nice one. You're doing fine. Excellent day. After yesterday from Morse, this is not bad. Hey, Brian, if you're still here, you must come more often. He's been the lucky mascot.
But Raj, you see the last half hour, the DXY increased from
Yeah, you see it in front of me. Yeah, it's moved up 30 pips.
to 104 almost. So that's why everything is running.
Yeah, that's right. Well, it's just jumping around. I've got the 1 hour in front of me. We're down to 103.55, which is now 103.84. It's got at 0.5. And the entire movement, let's have a look now. The entire movement is 104.15 down to that's what 45, 50, 60. Moved at 0.6 movement, and it's not the last down. The last 8 minutes, so it's sort of bugging around. Well, I think that's a bit delayed actually. It's not done that in 8 minutes. That's the last hour. I think it's a bit delayed. But yeah, whatever. It might be a little bit delayed. That's right. It's a bit delayed because it's free. Often I do that with figures. Don't forget, for free, and when you get free data, it's usually 50 minutes delayed, which is all right to keep an eye on it. But fat lot of use for trading to make you pay for it. Clearly, obviously, something free. Why you wouldn't? So I think it's about 50 minutes delay on it. Just remember that. Okay. Anyway, that being as it may. Yeah, it's moved around quite a bit, so we'll see. Yeah, I think be careful, cautious of that dollar yen. I'm not sure it's going to reach that target as we looked at the moment, but we'll see anyway. But anyway, this is doing fine. Just like to see it can break through this area here, and then we're on our way. Just need to break through this. Okay. But come on, guys, let's be honest. I don't care if you've been trading a long time or a short time. Would anybody buy a currency when they cannot get you a decent electricity supply in your country? You know what I mean? You don't have to be a bloody scientist to know that.
I absolutely agree. It's just for me the fact that the USD ZAR was hovering the whole morning, even since the break last night, the news about Eskom, and it only really picked up once the dollar increased in strength,
Yeah,
the DXY.
I agree, but I'll tell you what, something that surprises me, we sometimes get delays. I've seen the what you call inventories on oil come out quite a bit different, and then the oil price an hour later starts to respond. I'm not quite sure about that, to be honest. A bit surprising, but sometimes you get delayed response. All I'm just guessing, it goes back, like most things, back to psychology. Guys reluctant to get out of their short, they don't want to do that. What was it? Which way around? Short or long, whichever way around, confusing myself here. And before they realise the short squeeze, they've got to get out of it. and things like that to necessarily get the bounce. You know, sometimes people just reluctant to take it. And if you've got enough people reluctant to take it, it delays the move, which will occur in the end, but after they cannot take the pain anymore. Remember, I talked about short squeeze? A short squeeze when you're short and it keeps going against you, it keeps going up, and you can't take anymore, you're being squeezed. So what you got to do, you got to exit. Enough guys can exit that short, it's going to have further up movement, isn't it? Because they're buying to get out. Till they got rid of all those short squeeze oaks, they're all out. Then it comes off. Then the sellers who are not in it, who are more patient, more professional, more understanding, will start shorting it back down again. All the guys squeezed out will see the lovely thing come off, and they're not on board. That's unfortunately when the emotions take over, and the big boys know that. Sometimes play with you, I'm sorry to say. So to get discipline is very important. Always look at the psychological side, because remember, we're emotional first and we're rational second, and that's a fact. It's indisputable, unarguable fact, unless you're Dr. Spock from Star Trek. I think you should have already done it. It should be down at about this level here, about 257. If you want to move it further down, you can. But remember, this is not a daily, it's a daily candle, sure. It's only been open an hour and a half or hour and 40 minutes. If you start moving it down to these levels within that range, it might be a bit tight. So we've already moved to 257 on the advice I gave you. But if you're uncomfortable with that and you want to build in a bit more profit, maybe you can put 254 and hope it takes that resistance out. It might get a bit of a bounce. What's the NAS doing? Still coming off. Okay. We'll come back to the NAS. Good point, that. I could get further down. It might break through. But if you're uncomfortable with it, maybe at 254. But you might get stopped out before you go back down again. But that's up to you. As long as you're aware of the parameters, you can act on them accordingly. Probably not. We'll have a look. I might jump to the gun a bit here. No. Sorry, Harold. I hope you're not here because you've been ticking me off. He took a nice short this morning, and then he wanted, shall I go in again? I thought, we'll try and get a higher prior field, as said, but hang on for a moment. Or easy in hindsight, but clearly he should have gotten in again. Sorry about Harold over here. Being fine. Would I chase it now? Absolutely not. Right down resistance. Wait for a bounce and set it down, depending what the dollar is doing. The dollar's not that strong at the moment. Okay. So I wouldn't be doing that now. If it breaks through here, the problem is I've got these guys here. You've got to keep an eye on DXY. You should have it now. I think that ship sailed. It's come off today, 150 pips. I think you're a bit late to join that. The party is a bit late to be joined, I'm afraid. You're going in sober. They're all a bit pissed at the moment. Sorry about that, Eugene. You're a USD AUD. USD AUD. USD AUD. We've just done that. I see what you mean. That's what you're talking about there. AUD USD. That's what confused me. Okay, got it. Right. I want to go back to the NASDAQ. Here's a classic example to say about that debt fundamental problem we're going on about. We had that 50 as expected. Some nice news came out. The CPI had great on the share market, etc. Only yesterday, and it didn't last very long, did it? This is today's candle. Remember, it's the futures price. It's not the spots. It's been going since opening first thing this morning, and already it's come off 346 pips. So there's a lot of fear out there. Hawkish stance or not, there's an enormous amount of people will know that, and you know now because I've been talking about it to you guys, of this immense problem they have in the background, which they're trying to keep from the guys in the street by talking about transgenderism or whatever they talk about, to keep their minds off it. Message major. Now, look at it here. It's right on the daily, which is 50-day moving average, and on support, you might get a bounce there. Now, you've got a 50K in your account, and you're a high risk Rambo trader. I expect you're going to get a bit of a bounce from here. But I don't suggest you do it. I don't know the extent of the bounce. It could actually take that out and then go down a bit more. But I expect a bit of a bounce here. I just think with the costs involved and the volatility, it's a bit too risky to take. And certainly don't touch it. At least you've got $5 grand in your account. And if you have got $5 grand, no more than 0.01. I'm going to get guys away, chase the sexy NASDAQ, squat money in enormously high leverage positions, and then they're going to get margin calls. It's just going to happen. Okay. Okay, fine, Jerry, no problem.
I suggest we can start moving or adjust the stop loss on USD-ZAR.
So look, it's still getting up. Nice one, Cyril. Nice one, Cyril. Yeah, might get a bit of noise here, a bit of resistance, seeing a breakthrough. The only thing is only a few pips there. Yeah, okay, good idea. If you get a pullback here, save. I don't want you to take a loss in this trade. Save yourself. Go up to market. Sorry, not market, you idiot. Sorry, back to entry. Move your stop to entry wherever that is. Unless you got it at 1740, which you shouldn't have done. That's chasing it. You got 1740, you got no choice. You got to leave it. You went in too late. If you got in, shall we say, 35 or below, get your stop to entry. If you got it in at 1715 or 20 early this morning, then you can move it above entry to, let's say, 1730, not closer. If you've got 35, you did find it, move it to entry. Protect yourself, yeah. You might get a bit of a pullback, purely technical, before it moves back up again. So you just want to save yourself, yeah. Hey, we've got some smiles on the face in the trade room today, compared to the CPI carry on we had on Wednesday, eh? Or was it yesterday, wherever it was? Or was it Tuesday's CPI? Whatever it was. What a chamors that was.
Yes, I agree.
Actually, I won't say who it was, but one guy said to me, he was suspicious about this guy. He's saying he was a trader. And I said, what makes you say that? And he says he was in a car driving, and the CPI was about to come out. And I thought, yeah, would you, if you're a full-time trader, would you be driving a car faffing around if the non-farms or big CPIs coming out and you got positions open in the market? You wouldn't be, would you? Well, you might, but it'd be surprising. Put it this way, if I say that non-farms about to come out, or a CPI, a very major one, which is even more important than non-farms, they say, sorry guys, I can't help you, I'm busy doing the shopping. I think you might sort of question me a little bit, you know what I mean? I don't know many traders who are not in front of their screen when a major funding comes out. I had to laugh when you said that, I must admit. Yeah, there's a lot of funny guys out there speaking a lot, but yeah. When you know nothing, they get away with it. But if you come across someone who knows a bit, catch yourself. Yeah, you just done this 5-day medical aid course. You get someone who knows nothing what a stethoscope, you might get away with it. Make sure it's not a doctor you're talking to. You might trip yourself up. But it's on flames at the moment, eh? Yeah, I've just done a week's course in speaking Portuguese. Hey, Zeph, you don't know what you're talking about, mate. Yeah. I know obrigado. What do you know? Yeah, I might just make a little bit of a fool of myself. Or I say, I know Portugal. I think Ronaldo the Spaniard. That would really help my course, eh? Having said
Roger,
that,
sorry, I was looking again at Meta to go for a short because it seems that it's dropping, but it reached now the 50-day support.
yeah, but I don't want to short it now because it's holding.
Yeah.
Why would you want to short if it's holding? You want to short if it breaks the 50. Anyone not got the 50 and the 200 on there? Please put it on. These are self-fulfilling, used throughout the world, and very, very important. As you can see, knowing me now, we've had some decent trades using it. We've had some decent trades using it without hordes and hordes of complicated algorithmic trading, I don't know, fancy indicators with someone like Hakisuku, whatever you call it, I can't even bloody pronounce it anymore. Hakimoko, whatever it is, can't pronounce the bloody thing. No, I'm not too sure I'm too keen on that. Do I see downside? Yes, I do. Do I see it right now? I'm not so sure. Up here, maybe, not right now. I think it's going to break through. I do agree. But I'm presuming that. And if it was my money and I was thinking probably would have do it, it's mine. And I'm sitting there as a host with a certain responsibility to advise. And I've got to be a lot more prudent when I'm doing that. You know what I mean? Oh, well, Roger say do that, but then, no, hang on a minute, and then it does jump up. So yeah, I totally agree with the short, but maybe get it here, 1998, if we get that, or a break. But there's a good chance it's going to come off, I agree.
Okay, so let's see where it closed tonight.
Yeah, you see what I mean, finally, we go on the hourly chart. They're working all charts. See that? It's held at between 4 and 5, and it's held now at the moment between 5 and 6. You get my drift. Let's look at the 4 hour. 4 hours, the only one giving you some encouragement only till there, which is what? How far is that? $2, eh? Yeah, about $2.20 or whatever. So can't tell much in the weekly there. Sod all on that. Not enough information. Okay. I think it'd be more prudent just to wait. If the NAS can continue down and we can break this oak here, then I think we've got a good short stop up here somewhere and take it down here somewhere, maybe even further. I keep saying this, guys, like a stuck record. This is window dressing all the stuff they're doing at the Fed at the moment. That economy is in mighty problems. And the extent of that economy is so large, it's an absolute fear. That's why you often prop up a millionaire, but then you go and bankrupt a pauper because you can't afford to, you know, the millionaire owes you, the multi-millionaire owes you R1 million, you tend to prop them up. The pauper owes you R1,000, then you go for him and you lock him in jail. You know what I'm saying? And so they'll prop up as much as they can, but until they can do no more, they've got to get that debt. They've got to get that what do you call it? That social setup. Too many people on the state, employees and all that. Horrendous costs, the FBI, the CIA, NSA, government employees, the Fed, astronomical costs involved, like our ESCOM and our SOEs over here. So they've got to get that sorted. And the political backlash of that, I think, is too much of a fight. Same situation over, complain over here, but it's not much different over there either. You just, some guy, did you watch the news? Watch the news. And you'll find how trivial most of the conversation is, or how much a narrative is. No one's actually openly tackling the big stuff. You have to go into sort of other areas where, like with a VPN or wherever they allow it. Because remember, all the Google News and the MSNBC and the NBC and the ABC and the CNN and all these guys all sing the same tune. So you don't get any facts from them. You're getting a narrative. Be careful. I'm not talking clearly whether you're pro or public or pro together, it's nothing to do with it. You're getting a narrative. You're getting spin, basically. Be careful. We want to go for a buy in the GR, DAX or whatever you want to call it. Remember, they tend to follow the Americans. We all do. We follow the Yanks. You know what I mean? Let's be honest, we do. You know? How many people buy local stuff? They all buy Yankee stuff, you know? So music and hamburgers and God knows bloody what. So yeah, if you're negative on the American indices, I wouldn't be positive on the German. Let's have a look at, give an example. I've looked at it. The NAS is down. Let's look at the S&P. First of all, it's down, right? If that German's up, you can throw custard pies at me. There you are. Let's have a look at it. Where is it now? For a minute, I saw that green. I thought I was about to panic then. So I was going to duck the virtual custard pie you're going to throw at me there, Brady. Now, you see my point? So yeah, no. If you like the German, keep an eye on it. Follow the others. You don't like doing the NAS or the others. You follow that and trade that, but you get your guiding from the States. I can't remember when I last saw the FTSE or the Hang Seng or the IBEX or the whatever it is shooting up when the NASDAQ, S&P are shooting down. It's similar. I remember we had JSE shares. Microsoft, Microsoft. It was, I think Apple had about 3-4 years. Came off. Big company came off. Affected the Dow because it's such a big player. Came off, and Nedbank shares came off. And what the hell's that got to do with it? It simply goes off in tandem. Hey, by the way, just change the subject there, Farney. Look at the dollar index. I think you're okay there, Zeph, from the JPY trade. Hey, yeah, you're very good. It's recovering nicely. I think that's sympathy. Yeah, it is. Yeah, but it's in sympathy with. I don't know if Eugene's still here. With the downward movement on the Dow, the S&P, the NAS. There's problems there. The only thing you're going to bounce on the NAS at the moment is technical. You might get a technical bounce there. I profit taking technical bounce and a few guys buying on that to push it up. I'm not sure how long it's going to last. It looks like the hawkish stance. And remember, the guys in these big institutions, they know this. They don't listen to spin. They know this, and they are extremely worried. And if you watch things like Bloomberg and look at other stuff, you will find that is, some of the not so well watched YouTube stuff. They haven't banned it because not enough people watch it to ban it. You'll find that the guys in the know are very, very worried, and that includes me. It could well do that. It looks like it's good on the way to do it. Keep your stop there. So if it doesn't, you don't want to see it missed by 5 pips and it comes screaming off. You know what I mean? But make sure you milk that bloody dry. Okay. Okay, Eugene, fantastic. At least you're joining again. Good to have you. Okay, where were we now? A lot of guys are left. We've only got about just over a dozen left, so some guys had to leave. Got a bit of load shedding at the moment, a bit of a pain, but there we are. Right. Anything else you're in? Anyone? Find anybody else you want to have a quick look at? See how it's going? Is Bubba doing all right? Was looking at that. Bubba's coming off. I thought it might be coming off. That's good. It's into profit now. What's our gold thing doing? Well, bloody hell, of course, things strength and gold's coming the opposite way now. Bugger it. Oh well, yeah. You took it. Okay, all right. Pity, but he might rescue. But yeah. Anyway, that was not many people took it. I think it's a bit of a too excessive that. Anyway, but whatever. It's a pity that 83's come off of it. I still see a bounce in the upward direction. Remember that dollar index going north will force it down, and that's what's happened. So there we are.
But it seems that with the DXY going north, it also forced down the next Nasdaq is in.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. Yields go up. The dollar will affect it, but the yields the next one. Yields go up. Remember, it's opportunity cost. The yields go up, interest rates go up, that increases panic on debt, which means it becomes less attractive for shares. Remember, index is just a basket of shares, just an EFT, a basket of shares. And so if the shares go down, well, I know index is often independently traded. Somebody think, well, hang on, maybe shares come, well, why is going up? Independent trading can move in sometimes funny directions. But the overall picture behind it is if the yields go up, it's negative for shares, negative for gold, negative obviously therefore for the indices. And they're going up on the back of the dollar strength a little bit at the moment as well. Yeah. So yeah. Well, no, but if you did take it, in other words, yeah, you might get us some pullback, just jumping around a bit. There's a lot of skittishness out there, as you can understand. That's why I'm going to be honest. I'm quite pretty pleased. The last half dozen trades we got out have been pretty good because I was taking strain off that CPI. Not for my account, talk about for you guys' account, because I feel responsibility to getting the trades right for you, and I sometimes ask for you traders who lost money to give me therapy, but don't like it. I don't like it at all. And even though I've been in sales, I mean, you're going to get cancellations, but I've never quite got the hang of it, overcoming cancellation. And I've been in sales, understand that. And even you're going to get one not right. Even I can afford to get it wrong because that's what I do because of volumes. I still don't bloody well like it. Puts me in a bad mood. I've got a toy cat, so I'll go and kick that toy cat. How's that? Yeah.
But I think it's our upbringing that's causing quite a lot of this conflict in myself as a person, in the sense that I was brought up to know that you need to win. Second place is a loss.
Yeah. Most of us are. Again, I think that's locked back on the old British sporting thing back 100 or so years ago, and very much now the American thing. Silver is a loss, gold is everything, sort of thing. Yeah. Which is a little bit unfair because that means about 0.1% are okay. The rest are rubbish because 1,000 people go for something, you only get one winner. So it's probably a little bit unfair attitude to have.
I agree. It's true. But
Also remember, one of my favorite aphorisms, and bring us to your scientist, aphorisms is this: even an actuary buys their fragrance. I used to say aftershave, but that's sexist, you get female actors, but I'll stick with, okay, that fragrance or aftershave emotionally. And an actuary is supposed to be one of the most rational people on the planet. So yeah, so I'm sorry, Fran, I don't care if you're a scientist or not, these things can play havoc with your sight. So that's why I keep saying, keep that strategy, keep that stop loss TP and the correct volumes, and it'll give you breathing space, mental breathing space. And when you reduce the risk to at least entry, it does take a lot of the sort of psychological stress off you. And that is one of the major reasons why people take profit far too quickly. They're so scared of losing the blue, they get out too quickly. They don't want to take the loss, they hold on the red too long. And that's the primary reason why people who are intelligent and got decent sums of money in their account tend to blow it. Not blow, it's the wrong word, but they tend to lose it because they can't handle taking the loss. It's got to come right. And in the end, it doubles up the loss. And the trouble is not just the money they lose, the psychological damage. Start losing confidence and all that sort of thing.
No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
Okay. Cheers, Pete. Go well. Catch you tomorrow. Yeah, so it is. You're human. Trust me. Unless you're Dr. Spock from Star Trek, you're human. And so all of us, everybody's got to face up to it. Okay, you come from Lapland and you're genius, or you're a half-wit from, I don't know, wherever. You're going to be emotional, yeah. And it's because it's so in your face, this. And it's not just in your face. You know, in a casino, it's red or black on the roulette table. Here it's red, then it's black, then it's red. Well, hang on a minute. Yeah, it can play havoc with the sight. Look at the dollar index on the hourly. It's on the hourly one, came right down to just above 103.50. Then it shot right up to 104.30, jumping around like that. So you see my point. Just want to look at the NAS, getting a bit of a bounce there. It looks like we're not getting the bounce. Interesting, that. Thought we might get a bit of a bounce. See, it tried a bounce there. Ooh, it's interesting, this. It might break through. Thank you, Sipandini. Thank you very much. Yeah, so it's after past anyway, so we're fine. Before we wrap up, anything else fine? Anybody else? There's only about 10 people left. Anything else? Other guys got to go. Anything else just want to look at quickly, or you're all good to go?
I'm good to go. Thank you. Thank you for the support and all the insights. Learn every time. Appreciate it.
Very much. Before you go, I've got to tell a little secret. Don't tell anybody else. You might not have gathered this, but I like the sound of my own voice, and I do enjoy the trading room. So it's not totally altruistic, but thank you anyway. Okay, NK, we'll sort of switch up. Be wide. Don't you've heard of Atlas Shrugged, Ayn Rand? She's quite a famous Russian Jewish American scientist, and she wrote a couple of tomes, one on Atlas Shrugged, forget the other one, two or three of them, quite well known. And she said there is no such thing as altruism, and I totally agree. It's got to be something in return.
Okay.
Well, yes, there has. There has to be. Anything you do, it's got to be some return. If it's not financial, it makes you warm and fluffy. How many you give to charity makes you warm and fluffy. I'll tell you what, go outside for no particular purpose in the rain and walk for a K and come back again. It's no good for exercise, no good for you. It does no good to anyone. Go and do it. There's no point. There's nothing in it for you. Go and do it. You're not going to do it. It's got to be some sort of benefit to yourself. Even makes you feel better or fitter or something. That's altruism. And quite an interesting thing that. Atlas Shrugged, read it. So it's a 1,000-page tome. It's quite good. And it's about, actually, sorry, I'm going on a bit here. It's about the big shots going on strike. You know, we're talking about the workers going on strike, and these guys making their money and providing jobs, and it's taking it from a different point of view, to a capitalist point of view. Well, if you're going on strike, we're going to go on strike, and the jobs dry up and all the rest of it. Interesting book, actually. Anyway, plus, yeah, I think we've got to hit the stop on that. Yeah, we've hit the stop on that. So you should have been stopped out. So don't chase it now. I couldn't say don't chase it now. It might go up further. But I'm just saying error probability, might get a pullback. If we can get this tomorrow down here, which I don't think is going to happen, we'll buy it. But pity didn't take it this morning, guys. I did tell you. You didn't. Ah. All right, in hindsight, there, you'd have been really smiling. But anyway, never mind, you didn't. You'd have been, making it worse, been 150 pips up. Ow, ow, ow. You know. I'm smiling here, guys. You aren't. Oh, you did, NK. Well, bloody done. Good for you. Right. It should hit your TP. You might get further. It's a round figure. If you're still in it, modify your stop to about 147.80 and hope it goes up. If it doesn't, you're still smiling. Okay. I see some downside on the NASDAQ. That dollar's taken off at the moment. Anyway, okay, that's me. Great stuff. Catch you tomorrow.
Thank you all. Appreciate
Pleasure.
it. Have a good evening.
Thank you. Cheers, guys.